We'll do the magic. Why not? Yeah.
Yes.
What's up?
What's up? It's our last day in Amsterdam. It's
Yeah.
been a great European trip. I find more people need to travel, Rob. More people need to get out, talk to their suppliers, get some ideas, see what's going on in the market in other places. Like, we're going back full of ideas, how to work our online business, full of ideas for marketing. It's awesome. More people need to do this.
I know. I'm traveling around a bit.
You do too. Yeah, your wife knows for sure.
Yeah, my wife knows. Yeah, definitely. Oeh. Lies, kom ook nog een keer thuis hoor. Anyway, yeah, right. Yeah, but you started off where did you start off?
At Pitti and the men's show in Florence. And again, super directional show.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's such, they have 20,000 visitors and you call them the peacocks in the center, of the Forteza, and everybody is just looking really great, trying to get photographed. And it's nice to see men taking fashion really seriously, like almost too seriously. And I think that that's something, I mean, specifically with Fish Named Fred, that you have so much fun with your brand. And I was seeing men have fun with fashion at Pitti Uomo, and I loved it. I just loved seeing it.
Yeah, it's like a profession, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Wearing clothes.
Exactly.
Right. And after that, you went to Naples, right?
Yeah, we went to visit a few.
That was quite an experience.
Well, we went to visit a few factories, which was really important. I mean, when we're selling shoes for $400, we want to be able to explain how the shoes are made, why they're $400, and to be able to film that process. And also for my buyer, it was her first shoe factory experience, so it was really, really great for her. And now all that information is get passed on to our stylists and our salespeople, so they can explain to the client what is going into every shoe. And we'll be able to explain what's going into your shoes, for example, at the same time, because it's the same process everywhere.
Right.
And also how we're losing some of the artisans. Mm-hmm. Most of those people in those factories were well into their 60s. I saw a few young apprentices. Yeah. And you hear about now that the high-end brands like Todd's literally starting a school and,
to acquire younger people.
Exactly. Right? And then placing them in these new positions because they need someone that can hand stitch the soles. Because made in Italy is still important for a lot of people.
Right, yeah. Hey, and you do a lot to fill your social channels, right?
Oh, of course. It was really funny. This time, instead of us trying to do the social on our own, we'd ended up creating a shared folder on our phones with our marketing girl in Calgary. And so she was able to put together more professional reels and kind
almost
of do
real
the
time.
Yeah, almost real time, like one day later, which is great for our people. And I found that was a really big advantage this year. The other thing we did was we have an ex-employee that lives here in Europe, and we flew her to be with us in Paris. We flew her to be with us also in Florence, so she could film all of it.
The Portugal lady.
And that was then we actually got a lot of real content, and it does make a difference when you have someone filming and following you around, so that Nikki and I, my buyer, we can really focus on the collections, what we're seeing, looking around rather, can you say that again, or whatever. But it's so important to do the social. People do want the behind the scenes. I think, as a bit of a personality in my city, there's only so much I want to share, right? Like the get ready with me and how I put on my eyeliner, that's not me at all.
No.
But the behind the scenes of travel and what we need, customers love it. The comments go up, the engagement goes up. They really want to see how it all comes together because they don't know.
All SP related.
All SP related, yeah. But the travel is the travel, and people, it's like a travel blog. People love it.
Yeah, talking about travel, we even met in Tokyo, didn't we?
Yes, that was really fun. Of course, you inspired me to go. You were able to go down to that fair, and I said, oh, well, then this will be great. Yeah. I can use this. I can write off the flight to go visit the fair, and ended up visiting Japan for 2 weeks with my parents, actually, which is my heritage is part Japanese. Right. And it was amazing. Japan is a place I will revisit and revisit and revisit in my life. I think I really enjoyed that
different
experience.
Planet, isn't it?
Totally different planet. Yeah. People getting tickets for smoking outside and the Japanese people picking up garbage with chopsticks and just taking such pride. I mean, the funny thing is, so you're seeing a lot more people ride bikes, like how people ride bikes in Amsterdam. You're seeing more of that.
It's also possible.
But the Japanese are so polite that they refuse to use their bells.
Oh, yeah.
So I just got killed so many times because when you guys know, ding, ding, out of the way. But the Japanese are just not, they're just too polite, you know.
Right,
So it was
right.
really, really funny to
Yeah.
see that
Yeah.
that experience. Yeah.
We used our bells. We did a bike tour in Japan.
You
and,
did?
yeah, definitely. Yeah. It was really cool. Really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, near the harbor district and the old fish market, the new fish market. And it was like one morning, like from 9 to 1 or so. It was really cool. Really cool.
It's such a great way. We've done a
Yeah.
couple bike tours here in Amsterdam and Copenhagen.
Oh, yeah.
Such a great way to get to know the city
Yeah.
and also just to hang with the locals and
Right.
see other things.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always like the locals to show us where the best food is.
Uh-huh.
Because you know what they're going to do to the tourists, just like they did in Napoli.
definitely.
They're going to
Yeah.
give us the crap food. They're going to charge us
Oh,
double.
yeah. You don't want to step into these tourist trap kind of things.
No, you want to live more like a native to really get inspired and to
Mm-hmm.
see how the locals live.
Yeah. So if you have some experience in the city, you already know where to go.
Exactly.
Hey, and okay, that was Tokyo. We also met in Chicago.
Yeah,
That was a cool trade show.
Chicago is a really cool trade show and definitely for men quite big. They're now doing a ladies version of it as well, but it's a little late for us. But I really enjoyed the fact that, for example, the Italian trade agency comes and brings a bunch of brands.
Oh, yeah.
And I think there's a real...
It's huge.
Absolutely, and there's an opportunity also for the Dutch to help you folks to have a big Dutch component because the
Right,
Dutch brands fit us North Americans better.
Yeah.
The Italian brands are so tiny fit, they
Yeah.
only fit a very small population, whereas the Dutch brands fit us. They're that modern fit, which works so well for our taller guys that might be a little bit bigger. So we've actually, I think that that's the next place for the Dutch brands to get in and to get some American market exposure. Because if you hit in the States, you can really hit. That could
We
be
know.
millions and millions
Yeah.
and millions, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we have some nice experience. We are there for about, with a fish named Fred, for about, I think, 4 or 5 years already. So that's like, I think this is our 11th or 12th season. Next week, it will be on again. And I think we should make some advertisement for Dutch retailers to get some experience. Better to go in summer, I have to admit, because now I think it's now below, what is it? I think 16, 17 degrees below. But for you, that's easy peasy, because in Calgary, it was like 40 below.
When we
wasn't it?
first got to Florence, it was minus 45 with the wind chill, minus 29, minus 32. So,
Crazy.
of course, it's sale season.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm on the street. I'm not in a mall. So I know at minus 40, minus 30, we will have no traffic.
Yeah.
So we kind of pulled a little fast one, said, okay, we have all of our sale merchandise. We did a flash sale.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's minus 32, that's the coldest today, you get an extra 32% off your sale merchandise.
Right.
We went through like 500 units on the weekend. My staff was busy when they would have been dead. Yes, the margins sucked, but it's also merchandise you need to get rid of.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so we did that.
Sooner or later.
Sooner
Yeah,
or later
right.
you have to. So,
Yeah.
you know, you use those things like what is everyone talking about? What is top of mind? And top of mind was weather.
Yeah.
If I scrolled through my Instagram feed from Calgary, it was everybody like, oh my God, it's so cold. They would take their ramen instant noodles and they would lift up the fork and they'd stand outside for 30 seconds and they'd pull their hand away. Yeah. And the noodles are set like that, right? So you just kept seeing this over and
Crazy.
over.
Yeah.
It was top of mind.
Yeah.
So if your marketing can tie in with top of mind, it's an easier way
Always.
in
Yeah.
than, oh, hey, here's a sale, but oh, it's a temperature sale. So I think some of those
Pretty
things
cool.
we need to think about as retailers. What's going on?
Yeah.
You know, Valentine's Day is easy. Christmas is easy. These are top of mind things.
Yeah.
Do something because everyone's already talking about it.
Right. It's always good to take up or to pick up something from the actual news or what's going on, and then to crank up your business with some actual stuff.
Exactly,
That's
because
really
people
cool.
are already talking about it. And then it's
Yeah.
like, oh, this is great. I am bored. It's Saturday.
Yeah.
Let me go into espy. It's minus 29. And of course, reminding
right.
people that, yes, we have underground parking. And yes, you know, you can go into heated underground parking and you do not have to go outside and use the secret back door instead of going on from the street. These are the kind of things that people love. And I think they love that kind of insider knowledge. Oh, I can go in the back door, or I can find out what Megan and Nikki are eating when they're in Harlem, right? So we go
really?
to this
Yeah,
awesome
sure.
restaurant, Bistro Bar Indonesia, that we just
Oh,
love.
that's great on the Zijlstraat.
Oh,
yeah,
so
that's
good. We
really
always
cool.
go.
Yeah.
And people just want to know. And we get
Yeah.
really high engagement from those things that you wouldn't
Cool.
think. But again,
Did you get a discount because of that?
no. I didn't even think to ask, actually.
Oh, you should next time. Yeah. Hey, talking about your store, for the people that don't know espy, and I think there's quite a bit of people here in Western Europe. Could you update us again what the difference is between any store and your store?
So at espy, it's a large store. It was about 1,000 square meters. We do men's and women's, really focusing on denim. But everyone that works for me is a full-time fashion stylist, so they're trained to work with the body. So nobody lies to anybody, and we'll actually tell you when you come in, hey, have you been to espy? This is what we do. We're not going to lie. And people just love that because the experience you're getting in a lot of stores is people are trying to be really, really pushy on that. The other thing we do that's really unique to espy is we buy from all over the world specifically for certain body types. So that's why we love our Dutch brands for our tall men and our tall women. We buy our French and our Italian brands for our tiny people. And that's something that really makes the difference. But it's a full experience, Rob. What's happening is we are dressing them head to toe. So if your average transaction is $750 or $1,000, it's because they're leaving in an outfit. It's very rare that people are coming in and buying one shirt. Or because we want to, well, you're going to wear the shirt with these pants, with these socks, with these shoes, with this belt, with this jacket, perhaps throwing a vest on and really teaching people the utility of fashion and how to build a real wardrobe. People are coming to us and going, I don't know what to wear. And we're saying, well, this is what you can wear. And we're keeping really good information on our clients. We're not letting technology take over. We're letting it assist us because people do want that high touch service with a person. The alternative is online. So when you come in, we'll look you up. What did Rob buy last time? This is his size. These are the brands that he loves. And when you come in, we'll have you literally your change room full in 2 minutes. We actually now, with COVID, we started appointments. And appointments have been great. So you don't need an appointment to come into espy, but we're getting more and more and more because people say, this is the 2 hours that I have, and I want to come in, and everything is set for them.
Right.
So you'll see...
Full focus.
Full focus, right? And, we do things like date nights. You'll come in with a partner or a friend, and we have a bottle of wine for you, and we send you off to a restaurant after, and we try to make shopping really fun. Because it is an experience. Right now, the experience is click, click, point, click, scroll, scroll, click, click.
Yeah,
How is that an experience?
No.
Whereas if you can come in, have a few laughs, get fitted, and of course we have full-time tailors as well. We find the tailor piece of our business is really, really important because making people fit is awesome. Because trend is trend and it will come and go, but style is eternal. I think Coco Chanel said that. And when you know what looks good on you, that's when you can really make a big difference for that client. I sell confidence, Rob.
Yeah, the confidence is growing.
I sell confidence.
Yeah, right.
I just happen to sell clothes and shoes, and it's that confidence that we want with people walking out, with the product.
Yeah. Speaking about the clicks you just mentioned, how do you mix the clicks with the real store? How does that work?
Well, what's something that we're struggling with right now, but we definitely have come away from this trip with a lot of great ideas. Sized garments are a little bit difficult. Like our web store is our new window. We're getting 8,000, 10,000 hits a month on our web store, but that's not translating to big sales at all. And it's like literally 1% of my business or 2%. It is horrific. And the reason is people come in and go, will this look good on me? Will this look good on me? They've chosen.
They take the effort.
They take the effort, and but they want this experience. They want the service. So what we're realizing is the most. We were talking to one of our shoe retailers, and he has a brand called Isabel Bernard, and they're turning over $58 million euros a year. They're since 2017.
Crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything it started with jewelry, and then it was gloves, and then it was bags. What do those three things have in common? No size. So extremely low return rate.
Right.
Some of these big retailers have very high return rates, 50%.
Yeah.
How is anyone making any money? So, what we are going to focus on going forward is the no size items. Yeah. So making sure we're making Instagram videos and social about amazing socks, scarves, jewelry, belts, things like that we can really get behind. And because when I have a great belt for women or men, I can go through several hundred in my little store. I should be saying to everybody online, hey, this is how you measure, here's how you buy it, so that there's no returns. And also, I think that the key thing for me shopping online is less than $100, I'll pretty much hit buy. If it's 400 or 500, I think I want more of an experience.
Yeah, you want to come over.
Absolutely.
Is distance not a big issue in
Well,
Canada?
Calgary's a really big city.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like my buyer lives a 25-minute drive from the store and she's still in the city. You can start driving in Calgary on our main highway at Airdrie where you enter the city and you get all the way to, Cochrane or Okotoks and it's taken you 45 minutes going 120 kilometers an hour and you're still in Calgary.
Right.
So it's a massive, massive city.
Yeah.
So for us, sometimes it's really special to come down if I have to come from 40 minutes away. And then with online, I think there's so much competition. So you have to know your brands and you have to know your fits.
Right.
And I think the other thing is a mono brand is much more important. For example, if I'm selling, AG jeans, they're also for sale in how many other places. Also, AG is selling them and they're selling them at a markup of, from their base cost all the way up. So they can handle that return rate.
Right.
So the customer, when they're shopping for a brand, will go for the lowest price, the fastest and free delivery, and the best terms. And I cannot offer free shipping.
No.
I can't afford it in Canada. It doesn't make any sense. So you need these small items that you can really, really work, one size items, so you can reduce your return rate. I think because
they don't come back
because
anymore.
all of these smaller, I've spoken to some of the smaller Dutch retailers, and they're like, we can't have an online store. Why? It costs us so much money. It costs me a full-time salary to have my online store, but it is my new window, and I've thought about it like that. So how do I monetize online? And I think for us small retailers, it's remembering what fits in an envelope that can ship very, very cheaply. What is no size that is not going to get returned? And then we can start to do a bunch of business out our back door.
Right.
So we've come away with some products from this trip that's exactly what we're going to be doing. So on our next FredTalk, I'll be able to let you know the results on that. But I have a feeling that that's really what's going to build it from there.
Okay, looking forward to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, and what's the role of Fred in your store?
Well, Fred has been, since we started coming here and seeing the collection in full, it has been a completely transformational experience for us. And I think that's another reason that retailers need to realize they're not often getting the best experience from their distributors who might want to be cheap on samples and don't want to show everything and don't want to buy everything because it is an expensive process. So Fred, for us, I mean, we've got your fish is in almost all of our videos. He's on a couple of our heads. We've got a really great Fred section in our store. And it is, the customer loves the details, Rob. That's what it is. That's what sells it. When they open it up and they have the little breadcrumb fish that they can find, when they can look at that little hook, when, I'm a great catch pops up. Those are the kind of details that make the product stand out. And I think your prices are just great. Some people just think, you get these distributors that go markup, 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 and a blazer like yours is retailing for $300 more than yours is. We have no resistance to your prices in Canada. You're just in this you're in this sweet spot, and you're a little bit interesting for us. So we've been really excited about how the brand has grown for us, how we've got a customer now that's coming in, no, I want the hook one.
That's
or
cool.
your waistcoats, for example, are the best-selling waistcoats in our store, and your blazers sell some of the fastest blazers that we sell.
So they come for the hook. They want to get hooked.
They get hooked on it. And again, the fits are very consistent, which I think is really important for men as well. So it's been, for us, a really, really great brand, and it adds a lot of fun because menswear can be kind of boring. It's the same navy suit, it's the same chambray shirt, and that's not what we get with your brand. And we need that in the store to make it lively. Your stuff is always in the window. The fish head brings people in, right? People want something to talk about, right?
So you have a fish section in your store,
yeah.
actually. So
and then we mix it around when it starts to get PC.
So it's not spread around like Easter eggs.
No. I mean, you'll see a few pieces on a table when, let's say, because we'll often buy something that's a color story that won't quite go.
Yeah.
But we put it with other things that'll go. But we'd like to keep it together to show the guy how to wear it. And that's what I love, is that the shirt matches the lining, matches the socks, matches the shoes. And the guys love that. It adds on. So before I knew how your brand was merchandised, I didn't know how to buy it. And now I know how to buy it, and it sells better that way. We 10 times our orders since we started coming to Europe and seeing
We notice, and it's also really cool that you take the effort of coming to us.
Oh,
I mean,
it's the best thing. I mean, we just get a full experience, and again, just so many great ideas. Like, we love the marketing that you're doing here, and it gives us great ideas. For the beer, for example, we now have a really small beer provider that I know can make us a small keg that we can bottle. And then we'll be able to, for our next big charity event, we'll be able to as well do Fred branded beer. And that's cool
Pretty
because we
cool.
can
Yeah.
mimic what you're doing now, and we can take the inspiration from you as well.
Yeah. You haven't seen the carpets yet. I'm
No.
going to show you the carpets. They're really cool. You want them.
Really,
definitely.
really neat. And we can actually put them all around in our shoe section, and people, when they stand and try on their shoes, because the other thing people do is they photograph.
Yeah,
So the
right.
carpet becomes this background for their Fred shoes that they're trying on. So these are the things that are cool that most people don't think about, and that we do. You know what I mean? We're just like, put that there. Because I see men taking a photograph, messaging their partner, hey, what do you think of these shoes? And then now it's going to be on a Fred carpet.
Definitely, we're always fond of these details that make the big difference at the end of the day. For us, it's our everyday business, but for many other brands, they sometimes have the courage to do some quirky details, but it's never sticking.
Never
to
sticking.
to the complete story. And most of the time, I'm always curious why other brands don't do these kind of things. That they make a print turnaround through the whole collection. I mean, that's easy, and it's not only easy; it's big fun because it's understandable for the retailer and the consumer. So that's quite cool.
I mean, and it's interesting because you might see that if you go into like a mono-brand store and they'll have their little section. But I think that it comes down to a bunch of accountant nerds looking at books going, we really sell navy really well.
Right.
Our next color is gray. Our next color is black. The number one comment we get when you walk into espy, men's section or ladies section, is, I love the color.
Cool.
Because, yes, of course, I have tons of black for women and tons of navy for men.
Yeah.
But I don't feature that as prominently. I put color in the window. I want people's eyes to kind of feast when they come in and be excited and look around and not know where to look.
Yeah.
And that's something that your brand does so well. And you need those spices, right? A steak without salt and pepper and spices, we don't like it.
No. You
And so
need
we
to
want
spice
to
it
add
up a
those.
bit.
We want to
Yeah, right.
add those spices, and
Yeah.
the fact that you're taking those details makes your brand really, really stand out. And other people should be taking a page out of your book, but I think you're lucky that they're not.
No, we're pretty open source in everything. This is also why I tell it now. But somehow others just leave it. And when we started off, people thought of us as this is a niche. But obviously, you can make a commercial niche, or you can make a niche commercial. And I think we have succeeded in that. And
Well, I can buy your navy blazer.
You're right.
But your navy blazer is cooler because it's got the hook,
Oh, yeah.
and it's got the cool thing under the collar, and it's
actually,
got
there's
great lining.
hanging one behind you.
There you go,
Big
right?
size. Yeah.
Interesting,
Right.
but interesting product.
Right.
Because every guy already has a navy blazer. How am I
Yeah.
going to convince him to buy a
You
new
have to
one?
crank it up a bit.
You've got to crank it up a bit. And these little hidden details are more for our stylists, our salespeople to talk about to the client. I think product knowledge and product education for your sales staff is one of the most important things that you can do in order to increase your value, especially as a multi-branded store.
Yeah.
If I'm working at the Gap, it's the Gap. We all know the Gap.
Yep.
There's no
Limited.
story.
No.
But there's so many stories that we can tell.
Right.
And you
Yeah.
know, and you are the master of storytelling, okay? And storytelling is what sells product, Rob.
Yeah, but
right?
that's also what hooks us together in terms
Yes.
of. I mean, you're also a specialist in storytelling, and talking about stories. Tell us about your espy run.
Oh, our Naked Espy. Okay, so this is super fun. So our 10th year is coming up.
Yeah.
And we're going to do it in 2025 because we're going to get some special product made
Cool.
for it.
Yeah.
We have raised over $500,000 for our local prostate cancer center for men's cancers and men's health. I convinced between 50 and 100 guys, depending on the year and the budget, to sign up, and they raise money as if it's like a swimathon, right? So they'll call their dad, Dad, I'm going to stand in my underwear outside espy. You got to give me $100 for its cancer.
Right.
And so, of course, the people donating are getting a direct tax receipt for doing that. And all of the participants have volunteered to stand outside in their underwear. So we put them outside. We usually do it in April. We started doing it in November because it's Movember at that time.
Oh, yeah.
But it ended up being so cold. Our coldest Naked espy was minus 17.
No.
I had to pull everybody inside because they were getting frostbite. So we do it in April. So it's maybe about 5 degrees, 6 degrees.
Right.
So it's still really cold.
Yeah.
I strip the guys down. We talk to them about their health. We'll have a sports celebrity come, or someone that's had prostate cancer.
Yeah.
And we talk about their health. And then we make them work out. We talk about the importance of staying fit through your lives as men. And then I walk them through our neighborhood to all the different bars. We get a drink at every bar. So you can imagine at 6 o'clock on a Saturday, because we always do it on Saturday.
Yeah.
And we walk into this fancy restaurant, into their bar, and everyone's just like,
What's going on
what's
here?
going on?
Yeah.
And we just create a lot of buzz, a lot of fun. And then the whole party ends up back at the store, and it's a naked to dressed party. So you know the party is over when they're dressed. But what we do is we pre-fit everybody. So we know, is the guy a crazier guy? That's why we're so excited to work with your blazers and some of your things for this next one, because we have some guys that they choose wild. Some guys choose safe.
Yeah.
But we fit them. We know what size they're going to be in your blazer. We know what size they're going to be in shoes. We know what size. So, and then we create the outfits for them.
Yeah.
And so when they get dressed, they're just like, oh, yeah. And
you can even put the blazer inside out if you wish.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So it's going to be really, really neat one coming up on year 10. We're going to try and raise over $100,000 just in that specific event. And we do all sorts of things for charity. I think that small businesses that are asking for their community support need to support their community. We went through COVID, Rob, and COVID sucked for everybody. And yet I was able to recover my business within a year. The government was giving us all sorts of rent supports, all sorts of salary supports. I couldn't take them after 8 months because my business was doing this again.
Which is
people wanted to support us.
Right.
You know, we were up $1 million between 2022 and 2023. And we're even up this year because people want to support us. Anything you can do for the community, your community will see. When somebody emails me, oh, we're having we're raising money for this, we're raising money for this. The first thing I look is, are they a customer of espy? If they're a customer of espy, the answer is 100% yes. If they're not a customer of espy, unless it's something because I really want to support my customers, right?
Yeah.
So we have the hockey moms come in. So once a year, the hockey moms come in and they have to raise money for their kids to go, to these big hockey tournaments.
Yeah.
They bring in their own food, their own wine. They charge a ticket price. We offer them, of course, like a small discount. We put on a fashion show with the hockey moms, and they'll raise a whole bunch of money. And now I have 100 new customers in my store.
Cool
And it's been such a great way to do that. We'll do other charity events where we'll do like a VIP party for 10 people. They each get a gift card for $350. We provide a bartender, wine, and we make an experience. So I was supposed to sell one at this charity event for the women's shelter. Well, I sold 5. Raised $30,000 for them in 3 minutes with an auctioneer.
Yeah.
And when I first presented that idea to them, they're like, oh, no one's going to buy that.
Oh, yeah. It's member get member like this, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so important.
Cool.
But for example, another top of mind thing. So everybody's all talking about the environment and CO2. So Calgary, our city, has chosen and said, you have to charge for bags. You know what? You've just spent 2 hours with the customer. They've just spent $3,000. And then I have to nickel and dime them 15 cents to $1 for a bag. And I'm like, what a joke. So what I'm doing instead is I'm telling my customers, as per this law, I have to charge you for this bag. Yeah. But every bag you buy from me for 15 cents, I chose the lowest because I believe a luxury experience does not include buying a bag. I will give $1 to the food bank.
How cool is that? Yeah.
By the end, I use 10,000 bags a year. By the end of the year, I'll give in $10,000 to the food bank from my customers and from espy. And the amount of messages that I probably got 50 messages on my Instagram since I was here going, amazing. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for turning something that we're all like, come on, into something positive. And that's what other retailers need to do. These are simple ideas that make a big difference in the end. When we do our wrap up at the end of the year, we will say we raised this much for charity. We gave this many things away. Those figures mean something.
Yeah,
You're asking for community support. You need to support your community. And it's not hard. It's fun. Get involved.
Like you say, it's fun. It's gaining your profit in terms of your image, but image, of course, it has to be real, and if it's real, people will notice, and they just give you the business because of this. Yeah, this is also what happened during COVID time, right?
Yep, exactly. Yeah. They're going to come to us first. Right. They're going to make sure that they're spending their money with us first, and that is something that we are just so thrilled that continues to happen. And that's what I say to other independent retailers that are having issues. I tell them, what are you doing in your community? Oh, but I can't afford this, I can't afford that. You know what? Those gift certificates that I give out I give out $3,500 of gift certificates for those parties of 10 that I tell you about. So my cost is 50% of that. I'm a retailer, right? More or less. And it cost me a couple $100 for the bartender and a couple $100 for food and booze. I've had parties that have spent $30,000. Would you invest $3,000 to get 30,000 back?
Always, yeah.
Always.
Sure.
So these are the things. And who am I getting? Who goes to these charity events raising money? I think it's people that have no money.
No, of
it's
course.
doctors and lawyers
Yeah.
and big businessmen. And so that's who now is coming into my shop. So we get as involved as we can. We're as visible as we can be. The minute I get back, I have to run off to a Calgary tourism event because we have so many people now coming into Calgary and doing touring events. I want to know who's coming. I want to know where they are so that I can make sure that that's the month I'm going to place the ad in the hotel magazine because I know there's 30,000 Rotarians coming to do the big Rotary conference.
Wow.
Right? So get some insider knowledge from your tourism bureau of your city.
Sleeping we do at night, eh? Not at the daytime.
No, but it's like that has been amazing. So I get now insider information of all of for the next 3 years of every single conference coming to town, when they're coming to town, how many hotel nights, where they're staying. This is like easy. This is low-hanging fruit that no one thinks about.
No.
The work is already being done for you, paid for by the government.
Right.
Why are you not using it?
Yeah. Good for you. Really good for you. Hey, what does the rest of the day look like? Because you're flying back tomorrow morning.
Flying back tomorrow morning.
You're going to Juffrouw Jansen, I understand?
Yeah, with Jansen this afternoon, and we have Palm Amsterdam we're doing business with. They do all their own prints and scarves,
I know them.
Scarves are coming so big.
Nice
so
company.
We're seeing them next.
Yeah.
And then right out tomorrow through London and home, and then we're home only for 3 days.
Okay.
And then just kind of, change the suitcase up a bit.
Right.
And then we're doing Montreal and Toronto for our main appointments.
Right.
And then home 3 days, then Vancouver, then home a week, and then we're off to Milan for shoes. And then we're done.
Okay.
And people think it's kind of crazy. I mean, yes, I'm a Sagittarius and I love to travel. And my buyer, Nikki, loves to travel as well, too. But like you said at the beginning, we really do make sure that we have fun along the way, that we take time off, that we do the tourist things, that we eat the good food, that we go to the Michelin star restaurant, and we have the experiences we can't have at home.
I think now I understand the match because I'm a Sagittarian too.
Are you? There you go.
Right, 29th of November.
I'm the 1st of December.
Hey, that's what I mean. 2 days of difference, or 3. Yeah. Hey, how cool is that? Okay. Sagittarians. Vancouver, you're going to Vancouver. Will you see our showroom? We have a new showroom.
Yeah, we have a new showroom. So we're going to be working with Norm, your new rep.
Yeah, right.
He's a nice guy.
Okay, cool.
And I think the nice thing about us going is we're going to be able to give him a little bit more feedback as well. We're going to actually let him know, I really can't wait for Imo, your salesman here, to tell us, what about the collection. And we're actually going to give that information back to Norm. Because
really cool. I
mean, he's going to get a little bit, of course, from the distributor, but to hear it from us and what's working, I think is going to be really, really advantageous for him. And we always did that.
Definitely. I will send him this podcast.
Do it. Norm, I'm coming for you. I'm going to let you know everything about
cool
Fish Named Fred Fall 24.
Yeah, cool. Give me 5. Okay, we're done. Bye-bye. Ciao.
Bye.
Let's say bye. Bye-bye.